Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris Martinez here. Going to give you guys a breakdown of the UFC fight tonight versus Israel Adesanya and Jan Blachowicz. And Izzy, as we all know, undefeated, 20-0 in the UFC, has not lost. His kickboxing is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he's 75-5, in kickboxing. He has not lost many fights at all. He's 20-0 in UFC. Like, the guy is just unbeatable. I would not want to step in the cage with him, especially standing on the feet. When it comes to kickboxing, striking, this guy is just elite. I would not want to throw hands with this guy. And I really don't think Jan plans to, even though everybody says, he's got the Polish power, the one punch knockout. Izzy's clearly is going to be quicker than him. And, for every one huge punch that Jan throws, I think Izzy's going to counter it with 2, 3, and it's just going to be too much for him to handle. So his really only way he has of winning is going to be able, to take him down, get that ground and pound, try and out wrestle him. Because when you look at the kickboxing, the stand up, Izzy, he's got over 100 matches combined. The guy is just he's so comfortable on his feet that that's just not somewhere where you're going to want to be with him. The guy's got fight of the nights, like crazy. Cadman Gaslam, he's got Derek Brunson, Robert Whitaker, Anderson Silva. The guy's just, he's beat extreme elite athletes, and I feel like Jan, he's fought great guys, but he's beat Dominic Reyes, who almost beat John Jones. That was huge. Obviously, his biggest fight. He beat Corey Anderson, which was crazy. Every time I hear Jan's name, I just think of that hammer fist to the face by him, which was great. But, Corey Anderson now fights in Bellator. He's not even in the UFC, He's got a win over Rockhold, who sort of at the end of, the prime of his career. So I just feel like the wins that they have, when you compare them, Israel just has way better wins versus way more elite guys. When you look at the wrestling aspect, I feel like it's going to be a way closer matchup, and the only chance that Jan has of really beating him, if you look at Izzy has not even attempted a takedown since he's been in the UFC, and there's probably a reason for that. I mean, yeah, he could be a Division I elite college wrestler, and we have no idea, that's how good he is, but we don't, because he has 0 attempts. When 86% of the time that people try and take him down, he denies it. So his defense is good too. Then we have Jan. In his career, the statistics, at every 15 minutes, he averages a takedown, so this is going to be interesting to see. And his defense is 65% of the takedown. But I would probably give the advantage to Jan just because of the weight. He's stronger. I feel like he's probably wrestling more than Izzy. He's more stand-up, kickboxing, striking, and his jiu-jitsu, I feel like, is more important. So I would give the slight advantage, like I said, to Jan in there. So you're kind of 1-1 right now. The kickboxing, the striking, Izzy, Jan wrestling advantage. And now you look at the last deciding factor, and that's the jiu-jitsu. Now we got Izzy, who's a purple belt, and Jan, who's a black belt. But Izzy, who trains at Atos School, who's the head coach, is Andre Galvo, which I don't know if many of you know how much you follow the MMA background and stuff, but there's the number 1 pound for pound kid in the world right now is a kid from Monroe, New Jersey. He's the best grappler in the world. He's probably soon going to be in the UFC. We'll see, how quickly, we don't know. But long story short, he ended up slapping the shit out of Izzy's coach, at a competition like last week. It was like almost knocked the guy cold on his feet, which this guy's a tough dude. And all the Brazilians that train at Israel's school are tough guys, like deadly guys, And this kid from New Jersey, this white kid, just slapped the shit out of him, almost knocked him off his feet. It's on YouTube. It'll be a good thing if you guys want to look it up. It was just fun. So I thought it was just a little funny side note. But back to the story. So he's a purple belt by these guys who actually, regardless of his coach getting bitch slapped, are actually extremely good grapplers and have won tournaments. Anyone, you name it, these guys have won in it. So I feel like he definitely has the advantage when it comes to the ground game. So that's going to be interesting to see what they do on the ground because I feel like Jan's only hope is going to be to wrestle him. But with Izzy's slight advantage in jiu-jitsu, it's, but Jan's also going to have the weight. So we'll see how that balances out. But we clearly all know I really don't think he has any chance standing up and trading punches with him with, a quicker Israel. There's just no way. Guys the same weight around him can't even hit him. Imagine somebody who has 20 pounds that's heavier than him. You're not going to be able to touch him. So regardless of everybody saying, he's got, which he does, he's got knockouts against, top guys. He's Yana, of course, he's a strong guy. He's got a knockout against Dominic Reyes when he was walking backwards with his non-dominant hand. He knocked him off his feet, clear out, cold. So, the guy does got an extremely strong punch and could put people out, without a doubt. But I just don't think he's going to be able to connect to Israel as he was able to with Corey Anderson. Like I said, the guy doesn't even, he fights in Bellator now, Dominic Reyes, who beat a John Jones and beat Luke Rockhold, towards the end of his prime. So when you look at who they've beaten, Israel just has beaten way better guys, more elite guys. So I just really don't think it's going to be as close of a fight as everybody thinks it's going to be. I think Izzy is going to win this fight tonight. It's probably going to win it around like around the fourth round because Jan's an extremely tough dude. He's not going to, go out quick like a Costa, who, drinking a little bit before the fight, supposedly. But he's definitely going to put up a huge fight. It might even go to the fifth round, but I think he's going to stick to the plan with trying to take Izzy down and win in the ground aspect just because who's going to want to try and stand up with him. So I think eventually his jiu-jitsu, and he just got his promotion to purple belt and he trains at Atos all the time. I think his experience there is just going to outweigh Jan's experience and he's going to end up getting the submission in like the fourth or fifth round. But, there's always a chance that Jan gets that one knockout punch, puts him to sleep, and that's why I just can't wait for this fight tonight. I'm extremely interested in the fight and, I'm curious to see where Izzy is going to go if he does win this fight. Is he going to defend the belt again and stay there and, not defend the other belt? So where's he going to go with this? Is he going to somehow balance both weight divisions and just start beating people everywhere, which I think he can do and he might, will do. I feel like Jan is always going to be a top 3 in the light heavyweight division. Like if he loses this fight, he's either going to be a number 1 or a number 2 for years to come. The guy's extremely tough, and I definitely was not trying to discredit anything about him. It's just more to show how great Izzy is right now. He's just on a whole nother level. I think he's going to be the new Conor McGregor to where he's just superstardom and everybody's a household name and, because the guy is not lost, and he ran through his division, pretty much beat every single good person in there, and now he's about to beat the champ of the light heavyweight division, and then might possibly even fight John Jones, the best of all time, statistically, if you ask. So, I mean, if that pans out the way that it possibly is looking, that's monumental for him. What more can you say than holding 2 belts and then beating John Jones? That's not too many guys can compare with that resume. So, like I said, I can't wait for this fight. The fight's tonight, and I'll bet the house on Izzy. So, here's to the last style bender. Let's go 4th round knockout. I'm saying 4th round knockout or submission. Because don't forget, Israel Adesanya, his striking, like I said, over 75 fights. This guy is just dangerous on his feet. So I'm guessing if it's going as planned, Jan is going to be trying to take him down and submit him and, ground and pound him. And then Izzy's either going to, end up submitting him or he's going to try scrambling out of it. And then that's where one of his, quick strikes are going to come and Jan's going to be knocked out. So either a TKO or a submission in the 4th round. Thank you. Have a good one. Subscribe and like.